Hey, how's it going, everybody? It is me, Juvination here, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. I know what you're thinking, Jordan, you just started playing through Assassin's Creed. And I'm like, I know. However, this is my most favorite game of all time, and it just got incredible, an incredible expansion. This is Path of Exile, created by developers Grinding Gear Games over in New Zealand. And I have been playing this game since it's been in closed beta. I know it doesn't really look it for my levels here, but I've gone through many different characters that I've gotten bored with and deleted over the years. Anyway, I have played so much Path of Exile, it is actually unreal. I've kept up with it since closed beta, and I haven't played any of, even though I was invited to it, I haven't played any of the beta for 3.0 yet, because I don't want to be surprised. I wanted to surprise myself when the final game was out, and I want to share that with you all here. So, you know what, we're going to be creating up a new character here. This is going to be a pretty lore-heavy Let's Play, so in case you're interested in that, I'm going to be talking to all of the new characters, all the old ones still, and finding out all the pieces of lore, because that's something I was really never caught up with in Path of Exile. So let's go ahead and create up a new character here. Alright, so in case you are brand new to Path of Exile is an action RPG, incredibly similar in every way to Diablo 2, but way better, because it's made in 2017. So you have different leagues which you play in, which affect who you can play with and who you can trade with. So there are temporary leagues called, these ones are called the Harbinger leagues, and they last for about 3 to 4 months. And then you have the regular standard leagues, which everybody after the 3 months is over, all their characters get dumped into standard. So standard is kind of watered down if you're into the trading scene and all that. And Harbinger brings it with it its own kind of style. It brings in new elements. So with this one, Harbinger, mysterious Harbingers roam Wraeclast and Oriath. They control and direct the creatures around them. So this is the full Path of Exile League. I think we're going to be playing that. And we are going to be going with solo self-found, because man, I don't need anybody to trade with. I am a big fan of going self-found. So we're going to do that. We're going to create up a new character here. And we get the option of choosing our class. Now, in case you have not played Path of Exile, I'm going to warn you, it is very in-depth. So basically, I'll show you once we get into the actual game here. Once we get into the actual game, there is an entire, you'll see I'm moving the mouse around because this is how big this skill tree is. It's going to take up the whole screen. Basically, the passive skill tree is going to take up the whole screen, and every single character is linked to it, so they have their own place on the passive tree. So the duelist could get into the ranger side couldn't get into the witch side. It would just take a whole lot of levels to be able to get there. You know what, for this Let's Play, I think I'm going to be playing with a witch. I'm not going to spoil which skills I'm... Oh, okay, that's very loud.
Satiate their curiosity in darkness and depravity. Innocence is our father. Oriath is our mother. When a daughter strays from the light, she makes herself an orphan. Learn well the lessons that Wraeclast will teach you, witch. It is your only hope of finding your way home.
We are going to be playing through a witch. I'm not going to reveal which skill I'm going to be using. However, it is, you know what? It's not a big deal. I'm going to be going with an arc witch. I really like arc. I really like arc, spark, any of the lightning skills. They're pretty good, and they're usually my favorite. Let's go ahead and name ourselves Juvination here. Alrighty. And, okay, let's begin our journey on Path of Exile. Alright, here we are on the Twilight Strand. And I'm going to skip all the tutorials because, God, I'm going to be honest here, I don't need them. We're going to skip the tutorials. Okay. So, here we are. We are a washed-up exile on Wraeclast. Let's go ahead and pick up our Driftwood Wand as our first weapon.
The sand shivers with malice. There's a power here that welcomes me.
Alright, and as you can see, we have a little bit of a quest here from this dying exile. Let's talk to him.
You and I, we're the only ones that made it to shore. Alive, anyway. Looks like you found something you can defend yourself with. Good. This place is crawling with criminals. There's smoke rising just east of here. Could be worth checking if the...
Oh, okay, and of course he gets killed by the zombie. And that's what we're going to have to fight here. So we got our first skill, and I know if you haven't ever played Path of Exile, you're going to be like, what? We got a skill from killing him? Yes. All of the skills are in the form of gems. So we didn't unlock, we got Fireball. And so we can take it because it's a blue gem. It will fit into a blue socket on our gear. Now, every piece of gear, excluding some unique items, will have sockets on it that we can use and we can put our own skills into. So we're going to place Fireball into that, and as you can see in the bottom right here, we unlocked it. We can now cast Fireball by right-clicking. There you go. And now I'm just going to do myself a bit of a favor here. I'm going to remove my default attack, and I'm going to make it move only. No, not that. I wanted to make default move only. There we go. And now you don't have to do that if you're brand new to playing the game. You can keep using the default attack. However, this is personal preference, and a lot of players actually prefer the move only to be linked to their left click. So as you can see here, we got to make our way east through the Twilight Strand. And if we hit the tab button, we can load up the map, which is, if you've ever played Path of Exile and you haven't played since 3.0, this is incredible. This is a crazy improvement going on here from the old map. So as you can see, we can cast Fireball and kill our undead. Now, Fireball will cost mana here. It costs approximately 6 mana. And as we kill these undead, well, I suppose I'll go ahead and use it first. We have our flasks in the bottom left-hand corner here. As you can see, we have some life flasks, some empty flask slots, and a small mana flask. We're going to go ahead and use the mana flask here. And it will, over a few seconds, restore our mana back to full HP. Or full mana, I suppose. And as we kill undead here, we will get more charges into our flask. So you don't actually buy your flasks in this game. You don't buy the recharges on them. You go ahead and you kill monsters, and that will recharge it. Here we got a piece of gear, the Iron Gauntlets. I'm going to equip it because we are brand new, and it doesn't really matter what we are using, just as long as we are wearing something. And if you're a veteran to PoE, I'm going to be honest here, if I was watching this LP isn't made for veterans. This is going to be for people who are brand new to the series, or are going to be interested in the lore and taking it easy here. So this is actually kind of interesting. I wonder if this large chest is a Parandus chest or not, but either way, we're going to click on it. It's kind of newer. Go ahead and look at it. Arcane Surge. Okay, hold on. Hold the phone here. This is new. Okay. Arcane Surge support. Each supported spell will track how much mana you spend on it. Granted, a buff with the total mana spent reaches a threshold. Cannot support totems, traps, or mine. Gain Arcane Surge when you spend 15 mana with supporting kills. Grants 10% more spell damage, grants 10% more cast speed. Arcane Surge grants 0.5% maximum mana regeneration per second, and it lasts for 4 seconds. Well, howdy doody! That's cool. Let's go. That's a brand new support gem. So, one of the major things in Path of Exile is that you can get support gems. This episode is going to be going over a lot of Path of Exile information because there is just so gosh darn much. You can get supported skill gems here, which linked to your normal gear, normal skills, will augment them. So if we put this in the same thing as Fireball here, and when I say same thing, I mean it is linked together. You can see right here, that is a link. Sometimes you will not have items that are linked together, and in that case, in that scenario, Arcane Surge would not affect Fireball. They have to be linked. Now, the only downside to this is, you can see in the top, our mana multiplier, 110%. You can see earlier how I said our Fireball costed 6. I think it should cost 7 now. Oh, no. It still costs 6. It must have rounded down. Okay. Well, either way, that's pretty cool now. So after we use Fireball, I think 3 times, 1, 2, 3, we got Arcane Surge, more spell damage, increases attacks, cast speed, and mana regeneration. Alright, so another item we just picked up was, I don't want to click up that, was the Scroll of Wisdom. So occasionally we will get magic and rare items that have to be identified, and we will be using Scrolls of Wisdom to identify those. So let's go ahead and make our way down Twilight Strand here, killing undead along our way. Some more Iron Gauntlets appeared there, however, I don't think we need to pick them up. I'm going to go ahead and use a mana flask, keep ourselves topped off. Later in the game, we will obtain different ways of restoring our mana than just using the flasks, but that will be a little bit later. Alright, 1, 2, you are dead. Sweet. like I was saying earlier, this LP is not going to be for veteran players. It's going to be for new and casual players. And I'm going to be honest, this is killing me a little bit, but Twilight Strand shouldn't take you more than about 20 seconds here. We got our first boss, being Hillock. Alright, Hillock's got a ton of HP, and he's going to want to hit me. So we're just going to kite him around. And as you can see, our fireball is actually doing burning damage on him occasionally. So we're going to keep up the fireballs here. One, nothing there. Going to use a mana flask. And there we go. And we leveled up. Okay, let's go ahead and grab our rawhide boots here. And you know what, we're just going to pick up all this because I will show you a few more things in town. So we got a second driftwood wand, which I'm going to unequip the shield and equip that, which it will increase our spell damage by 9%. Alright guys, get ready here, because I'm going to open up the passive skill tree. Alright, that looks easy, that looks easy. That looks easy. What in God's name is going on here? This is why this is one of the best games of all time. The passive skill tree right here, meaning every character that you create, as long as you aren't following somebody's other build, is going to be very unique. So we have two options here. We can either go with energy shield and mana regeneration. I haven't explained energy shield quite yet, but however, we're not going to be going that route. We're going to be going spell damage. I'm going to apply that, and so we now have 16% increased spell damage permanently. That might seem lame, that might not seem like a whole lot, but by the end of the game, when we're like probably around level 70 or 80, I'm just talking about when we get through to Act 10, it should be around 70 or 80, I would think. It's going to be, these passive skills are going to add up. So, I mentioned energy shield. We picked up an item a little bit ago, I think just off Hillock here, which granted us energy shield, actually 2 items. So we got Divine Circlet and Simple Robe, granting us 12 and 6 energy shield, and we got one more from somewhere else. I think it's from our intellect, we got it naturally. Anyway, we have 19 energy shield. We will get hit, and instead of our life taking the first burns of the blow, it'll take it first from the energy shield, which will restore itself naturally after we've been out of combat for a few seconds. Now, like I was saying with the passive skill tree, there are ways to mitigate that and make it an even shorter duration so you get even more, and etc. So let's go ahead and enter in the first town, Lioneyes Watch. Alright, here we are at Lioneyes Watch, and as you can see, our quest here is enemy at the gate. We gotta talk to Tarklai at the door for the talk to Tarklai for our reward. However, we're gonna be exploring a little bit in here, so let's click on the Letters of Exile and see what's going on. So this is from everybody who's ever been exiled to this land. So let's see.
Olin of Theopolis, you have transgressed against your god and your fellow man. You have been a willing vessel for the following sins: unlawful avarice, 1 count of petty theft; civil envy, 1 count of resisting the authority of an officer of the Ebony Legion; mortal wrath, 1 count of reckless conduct leading to the accidental homicide of an officer of the Ebony Legion. God has charged me with your redemption. You are hereby exiled to Wraeclast, where it is hoped you shall come to repent your sins and make your peace with your beloved father.
That was High Templar Dominus. Okay, and if I haven't already mentioned this already, this game is free to play, which is incredible. Alright, so we have a few new faces in town. Well, it's the same old faces. Actually, I think Nessa got a remodel done. She looks a little bit different. Let's see what she's all going on here about. And then these here are actual players. Let's talk to Nessa here.
I saw what you did to Hillock out there, witch. Your black art is the reason you're here, in exile. It may also be the only thing that allows you to see another dawn. I'm Nessa, and I suppose I should thank you for ridding us of that putrid giant. Back in Oriath, I judged your kind without hesitation. In Wraeclast, I don't have that luxury. Lioneyes Watch isn't much, but it's ours. We could use you here, while you live. But should you wish to venture out, do just one thing for me. Out on the coast, amongst the wrecks, there must be a ship's medicine chest. I have many to care for, and there's only so much I can do with herbs and seawater.
Alright, and now that we talked to Nessa, she is also a vendor, so we can buy items from her if we so wish. Now, in Path of Exile, there is no such thing as gold, unless you count Parandus coins as gold. There is only items which augment other items, and that is our currency in Path of Exile. As you can see here, we have 5 Scrolls of Wisdom. These are a form of currency, but I would equate them to maybe like 1/10 of a copper. They are worth practically nothing. However, we also have Orb of Transmutations, Orb of Alterations, Orb of Augmentations, and then Portal Scrolls. So Portal Scrolls will allow you to link back into town. Transmutations will turn a normal item into a magic item, so it could take this shield or this wand or this fine circlet, any of these normal items, and turn them into a magic item, which will have additional properties. An Orb of Alteration will take those properties and reroll them. And an Orb of Augmentation is, by default, a magic item can have up to 2 magical properties on it, a suffix and a prefix. With an Orb of Augmentation, if it only has 1, it will add the other to it. So, that being said, let's go ahead and use a Scroll of Wisdom on our boots here. Now, I'm kind of really hoping we get movement speed because that's super useful. So, nope, 7 maximum life, but you know what? I will take it. Alright, what else? Do you have anything of any kind of use here? No, I really didn't think so. She doesn't really have anything that good early in the game here. We can talk to Bestel here. I think that's how you pronounce his name.
A wayfish, waterlogged witch, washed up in Wraeclast. That's the first line of the poem I'm writing about you, Exile. Easy go. You could scorch a bloke with a look like that. The name's Bestel, captain of the good ship Merry Gull. At last, my Merry Gull is gone. My crew is gone. But my wits remain, after a fashion. There's an island, a hop, skip and a wade offshore of the terraces. That's where my Merry Gull ran aground. Watched the locals spit roast the ship's doctor, but his medicine chest might still be there, amongst the splinters and bones. It'd have everything Nessa might need. Dr. Shaky Hands Opton was lousy with a scalpel and even worse with a saw, but he knew his apothecary. Explains the shaky hands, if you ask me.
Alright, so let's go ahead and talk to Bestel about Nessa.
Poor Nessa. Not even a mother herself, and yet she cares for us all. And what a sickly, pathetic brood we are. May she live to have her own family, a real family. If anyone deserves that, Nessa does.
And what about the drowned dead?
Errol, the Merry Gull's cook, washed up on the rocks over yonder. Dead as a doornail he was, buried him myself. Then, a few days later, I see him on the beach. A little worse for wear, but upright, shuffling about. A land full of disturbing surprises, this Wraeclast.
And this is where the dead roam the earth. So if we go over here, let's close out my inventory. We can talk to Tarkline. Actually, he will give us a little bit of a reward for killing Hillock.
Fine work with Hillock. Where'd you learn to fight like that? No, forget I asked. We exiles have no history. Dominus took it from us when he had his blackguards dump us in the water out there. Here, got something for you. Should help you kill a few more of those undead bastards. No, don't bother thanking me. The way I figure it, the longer we fighters live, the longer everyone lives.
Alright, so we get our reward for killing Hillock. We are able to get a new spell out. So in case we wanted Freezing Pulse, we could get that. It is an icy projectile, which has a chance to freeze enemies. It's very good early on. I really like it. I've had many builds use Freezing Pulse, a very fun skill to use. Magma Orb. This one is okay, it's kind of hard to use. You throw out an orb of magma and it kind of bounces around. Lightning Tendrils is good, however, it's only good for a little bit. It's only good in the early game here, and not really my favorite skill. Raise Zombie, in case you wanted to be a Necromancer. And Blight. Okay, is this a new one? Apply a debuff to enemies in front of you, which deals chaos damage over time. Enemies who aren't already debuffed by Blight are also hindered for a shortened secondary duration. Slowing their movement, continuing channeling adds layers of damage to the debuff, each with their own duration. Well, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and try this out because I've never seen this one. It's a channeling skill. You know, I haven't played a whole lot of Path of Exile in the last few months, so this may already have been in the game, but it is brand new to me. Let's go ahead and equip that. And I'm going to replace that for Fireball here. Let's see, is it still supported by Arcane Surge here? And this costs 2 mana and is a channeled skill, so it will keep going as we hold down on it. Let's go ahead and let's keep using that here. Okay, actually, let's keep talking to Tarklai here. What does he have to say?
Still alive, are we?
He's got a lot to say. All right, let's bear with me here. What do you have to say about Lionai's Watch?
Founded by Marseus Lionai as a supply station for his campaigns against the Karui. In its day, Lionai's Watch could be defended by just a small garrison of well-armed legionnaires. What have I got? A handful of starving criminals with driftwood clubs and rusted hatchets.
What do you have to say about the Drowned Dead?
The Eternal Empire has some right nasty leftovers. Whether it's something in the air or in the water, no one stays dead in Wraeclast. Not the first time. Can take a little while, but sooner or later corpses wake up and go looking for breakfast.
Alright, Tarklai, what do you have to say about Bestel?
That hat Bestel wears? Saw him pluck it from the real captain's head right before the cannibals barbecued the poor bastard. Waste not, want not, I suppose. Yes, Bestel's got a gift for telling tales, but I'd never call him a liar. The truth's always in there. You just have to listen for it.
Alright, so Bestel isn't actually the captain. He's just a little insane. What do you have to say about Nessa?
Nessa's the one keeps the rest of us from losing our minds. To be honest, when she first arrived, I didn't think she'd survive more than a day. 2 at most. She's been proving me wrong every dawn since. Heard a bard once sing that the fairest flowers bloom in the foulest places. He was bloody well right.
And what about the Letters of Exile? What do you have to say about that, Tarklai?
I've seen many an exile pass through Lionai's Watch, and many more that simply pass on. Those letters are my way of keeping track, of remembering. Oriath might want to forget us all, but I'll be damned if I will.
Okay, so before we leave Lionai's Watch here, we're going to talk to Nessa again and just see what else she has to say about Bestel and Tarklai. Alright, what do you have to say about Tarklai?
Tarklei's as good a man as you can find on this god-forsaken coast. He has some wrongs to right, no doubt. What they are, I've never asked, and I never will. If not for Tarkley, we'd all be dead.
And what about Bestel?
The Merry Gull ran aground on the tidal island trying to escape from pirates. As tends to happen here in Wraeclast, her crew met a far worse fate. Cannibals. Tarkley pulled Bestel from some hideaway in the wreckage. The ship's only survivor. Whether the ordeal fractured his mind or whether it was just in his nature all along, it's clear that Bestel sails a different course to the rest of us.
Alrighty, guys. Well, with that, we're actually ending the episode, I know. I know it was a lot of talking in town, and it was a lot of getting to Lionai's Watch, which is like the very first place in the game, which most people can get to in 10 seconds, and it took us about 20 minutes. However, I'm really glad to be playing this. I'm super excited to keep playing through this game. I cannot wait to see all of the changes that have happened in 3.0. I've pretty much kept myself spoiler free. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. If you are new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. You can follow me down below on Twitter and Facebook. The links are in the description. Or you can reply on YouTube here, and I will definitely be sure to reply back. Alright, like I said, guys, thank you so much for watching, and see you all later. Peace out, everybody.